I'm Peter Stadden, I'm the president of Christchurch Rowing Club. I was a 10-year-old when I first joined the club. We're in the historic town of Christchurch on the River Stour. There's two rivers in Christchurch, the Avon and the Stour. They meet up just downstream from where we are and run into the harbour, which is another big area for us to row into. We're catering for all age groups from 12 to 80 at the moment, male and female, all abilities.
Christchurch Rowing Club a few years ago found that they had a lot of people who had rowed racing in the past, had stopped for families and things like that, but wanted to come back to rowing, but didn't have the time or the ability to commit to rowing in the racing squads. And so they started forming the social rowing group. Increasingly what we're doing now is going away visiting other clubs, and so we do exchanges with them, which is great. We've also gone on the British rowing tours, which are proving very successful, and we've had tours where we've gone to France. And what I'd like to do, and what we're starting to find around the country, is that local groups are getting together and having fun splash and dash regattas.
Vicky was a very experienced and very well respected coxswain at the rowing club. Very sadly in 2020 Vicky passed away. In any club, coxswains are extremely sought after and valued, because Vicky was such a well-known member and such a good coxswain. I saw an opportunity to create and refresh the way that we train and encourage our coxswains at the club. And so during lockdown, had some time on my hands, I just pulled together all of the information that I had from the club, plus extra stuff, and created a programme which trains coxswains to 3 different standards.
So I started rowing 2 years ago. So rowing was always something I wanted to do in my previous career, which was the military. I didn't have much spare time on my side then, so on leaving I inquired about a local learn to row, and from there I've rowed as much as I can since that point. I like working in a team and kind of just physically challenge myself each weekend with a crew.
So our club, we do a few different types of racing. Our main focus is coastal racing, so on the coast it's not like traditional racing, so we do a start line which is not stake boat, so you're just trying to row up, stay in a line, you get to go. There's a buoy turn halfway around, so you've got to turn around and come back to the start finish line. And it's obviously all on the coast, so sometimes it can be really choppy, sometimes it can be nice and flat. Other type of racing we go and do is also river racing, so sometimes we get out the fine boats and we head up to the river, to the Thames, and yeah, we go up and down there and try and get some medals and sort of represent the coast on that. The other bit of rowing we're starting to look at doing is a bit of like visa rowing, but that's sort of only just started up with a few affiliated members with our club.
So we've got 2 types of boats for coastal rowing here. We've got this one which we use in the Hanson-Dorset League, and the Hanson-Dorset League is all predominantly sweep, so mostly just rowing. The main difference is that our Hanson-Dorset coastal boats are shorter and fatter, so shorter and wider than a traditional 4. The runners in them are also offset, so instead of being in a line, they're offset, and that's to provide a little bit of balance. And the other main difference is at the other end of the boat we've got bailers, so that if the water comes into the boat, the cocks can open the bailers, and then as the boats are rowing the water can flood out the back. What the difference between this boat and this boat, the main difference, is that this one can row on the sea, but mainly near the beach, whereas this one can take really big waves. And the reason for that is, if you have a look at, it's more of a surf model, so it's flatter underneath rather than the more traditional curved shape that boat. It's got a rocker which goes that way, and also you'll be able to see that at the back it's completely open, and that means that when the waves come over the bows of the boat, the water will be able to flood out as you're rowing.
So I learned to row while I was at university, predominantly in Sweep River 8, which was a great experience. Last year I discovered this whole coastal rowing, being predominantly in the enduro boats, learning how to scull, and that's over a 4 to 6k course. And the thing I love about it, there's just so much more going on than a 2k flat race, which is very exciting as well. But here you've got to think about the wind, the wave, the tide, other boats as well, because it's often a mass beach start and you're all heading to this buoy, and it's just staying out of trouble is often the key.
We've got about 30 to 40 juniors now, including our new Learn to Row. We specialise in sculling with the youngsters. We hold a Learn to Row once a year. Hopefully those guys will want to stay through, join us in September and join the rest of the development squad training with us. At the club we had a long-term member, Mike Green. He was a club member for over 60 years. He started rowing, then he coached, he was club captain, he was president. He was Christchurch Rowing Club. He passed away just about 2 years ago now, and in his memory the club and his family wanted to set up a bursary award scheme. It gives a little bit of financial support to 2 rowers each year. It's in its first year now. So with the junior section, obviously we see quite a lot of the parents. We realised that there's a lot of untapped potential in there. So we are training one of the fathers to be a launch driver. We've taken another of the parents is now our junior coordinator that takes a lot of the admin from the coaches.
What do you like about rowing?
I really like the community, it's very encouraging.
Yeah, even the people you just meet at regattas, like random people that you meet, they're also
very
nice
supportive.
And supportive, yeah.
I'd say that the support from both the coaches and your peers really helps you to reach your goals, whether that be recreation or social, or whether you want to aspire to be a rower for GB at some point in the future.
You meet people from outside of school that you wouldn't normally meet and create new relationships with them. Yeah, that makes it really fun and motivating.
I've been rowing for all my life. I started rowing in South Africa. I came to the United Kingdom to be with my family after having a major car accident in South Africa, which stopped me from coaching and working. And having people surround you when you're going through anxiety or depression and even disabilities, it helps you to have a family and a friends around you and help support you and uplift you. Rowing is one of the few sports where you spend an incredible amount of time with people, that you get to know people on a one-to-one basis and know them as family, more so than friends. I've got a wasp.
Sorry. Right. Are you just trying to get in the shot?
Yeah.
Shouldn't intentionally be filming outtakes.